Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to The Troop, a turn-based World War II war game, which takes place in the Normandy campaign. We are playing one of 4 campaigns which come in this game. The 4 campaigns consist of 2 British campaigns and 2 German campaigns. So you can play as the British or the Germans. Also, I believe there's some skirmish mode battles where you play as the Canadians, but none of the actual campaigns yet are Canadian-specific units, which would be fun, but doesn't exist quite yet. They have added new campaigns or battle group functionality in the months after release, although I think the developer's been going through some stuff because he made some comment about like being away from coding, but now he's back to coding, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. That being said, today's video is going to be looking at the second battle in the 8th Armored Brigade campaign, which is the one that we are playing, and that is 9 June 1944, first encounter. The situation is that the brigade has bypassed resistance from SS troops around Ardau and seized Point 103. Enemy SS units are operating to the east. Panzer Lehr, superbly equipped armored and panzer grenadiers are massing to the south. Expect heavy resistance. Our mission is to advance south through the village of Saint-Pierre, seize the bridge over the Swells, and advance through Tully-Suez toward the brigade objective at Villers-Bocage. The ground is typical Norman villages with stone buildings and hedgerow orchards and woods. The weather is overcast. We have played, one battle, and in the initial battle, we lost 13 men. The enemy lost 35, and so player losses 4, enemy losses 10. I'm assuming that's morale losses. When we take a look at the battle group, I don't see any indication for casualties or damage suffered by the units that actually fought. I believe the Sherman Mark II troop was the armored unit we brought in, and we had a little bit of damage and 1 casualty in one of those tanks. The other infantry groups did suffer some casualties, but I don't see any indication on this screen anyway of experience gained or units lost. I don't know if individual soldier casualties matter or if it's just like if the whole squad is wiped out. Maybe then it matters. I'm not sure. I don't think we had any squads wiped out. We did lose the Dingo armored car and the Daimler Mark II. So you can see here Harris's armored car troop is 0. It is gone. It's all grayed out. So those boys are dead. But we'll go ahead and just jump in and play the next mission and see what happens here. I'm assuming I'll have to pick who I'm going into the fight with now, like we did for the first battle. Okay, so we have... Ooh, is our budget more than it was last time? It does look like our budget is more. I don't remember the exact amount, but it says 1,225 is our current budget. The mission force, I guess it actually just automatically carries over the forces from the previous battle to this fight, so we don't have to do anything there. It looks like we get these guys. Now, if I click Allen out here, do I get more? Yeah, so I don't have to fight with the same units. Now, these guys all have experience, so we might want to fight with the same guys, but we don't have to. So keep that in mind. Now, I will say I'm going to want some Fireflies in this particular battle. If we're going against the Panzer Lehr division, presumably they're going to have some heavier armor than Stug 3s. So we're probably going to want to get some 75mm involved. Since I already have 2 Sherman Mark II tanks involved, at least right now, I think we won't even want to entertain sort of the split troops where you've got a Mark III and a Mark V. I think, do we have any... Oh, no. I was hoping I thought we had a troop that was all Fireflies, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like they're all split. So... Interesting that the Sherman Mark III platoon here under Robinson got way cheaper, too. That would be tempting to have, but... Alright, so the Mark III, does that have a 75 or 76? I know the Mark V has the, 15-pounder. So obviously we're going to want one of those. But that eats a ton into our budget, too. So that's something to be mindful of. So this will give us 4 tanks on the battlefield, but really only 1 heavy hitter, which makes me a little nervous. We do have enough money if we want to go ahead and deploy a second heavy hitter. In fact, we could... Oh, he's low because he's set to late deployment. We do have the option, if we want, of doing maybe a late deployment for the second tank unit here. We could do that. It would give us 358 and potentially up to 6 tanks on the battlefield. And we could just... We've got 358 left, so we could go for a couple of smaller infantry sections here. I don't know if we need half tracks. I'm not quite sure what the value of that would be. A breaching team could be nice, given that we're going through, you know, heavier terrain. Looks like we're going into some towns. Alternatively, we could go with some high-velocity AT guns. This is a very armor-heavy unit, though. I think I'm going to go with a infantry section here with an LMG unit and a heavy machine gun unit, I think. So that'll give me one more infantry group, one more LMG group, and a sniper team to add to my other infantry units here. Or sorry, it'll give me one more infantry group and LMG group, and then we'll have 2 heavy MG groups. So a bit more heavy firepower. Although the Piat team might be nice too. I don't know. I like me some Piats. How late is a late deployment? I don't know. So, whoops. We're negative if I do that. So we could do a late deployment for the infantry and then drop this LMG section. We'd still get the additional heavy machine guns to start, so we'd go into the fight with a recon section and a infantry section, as well as mortars to support. We'd go in with 2 Sherman Mark IIs, a Sherman Mark III, and a Sherman Mark V, a Firefly. We would then get reinforcements and 2 heavy MG groups. We'd then get reinforcements late in the battle of another Sherman Mark III, Mark V, and another infantry platoon to perhaps help us with that final push. I think that seems like a good deployment. I've never fought this battle, so I don't know. But that seems reasonable to me. I studied history in college, Brian, yes. I didn't get a master's in it or anything, just an undergrad. Undergrad in history, and then I also did international relations. I double majored. My senior thesis was about German Americans in the Civil War. All right. So here's our Firefly. We have to take 5 objectives. How many are there? Let's get a lay of the land here, boys. All right, so this is a much bigger map than the previous fight. You can see it's basically just this town. These objectives throughout the town. There's probably going to be a fair amount of German infantry in here, I would assume. I don't know if we're going to have to deal with off-map artillery. I wish there was a mini-map to be able to better follow this. So let's circle around here. All right, so we've basically it's this. You got to go up the road to this town, take the crossroads, take the woods on the flank, and then push out through the other end. That appears to be the objective here. I don't know how far we can deploy forward. Let's take a look here. The MG group. So we can deploy almost into this building. I'm going to assume this building will be unoccupied, given we can deploy pretty much on top of it. This wood line will probably be occupied. I would occupy it anyway. All right. Well, where do you want to deploy here? we're going to deploy this Sherman here. Oh, come on. Let's relocate you. You said you could.
Receiving.
Oh, I can't relook. All I can do is deploy along the back line?
Receiving.
Oh, that's annoying. So these all might actually be occupied.
Yes, sir.
All these units look like you can only deploy along the back line. It did mention Villers-Bocage, so it's possible it's where Whitman talked about destroying a bunch of stuff. All right, I don't want to be here. This feels too open. Let's take a look. Yeah, this feels way too open. I don't love the idea of going down a narrow road. That seems like a bad idea, but maybe we can use the infantry to clear on the flanks. The right flank feels problematic. I suppose we could stick some tanks over here and come down this road from the flank. But it seems like a bad position to be in. Alright, LMGs. I mean, I think we primarily... I want to be concentrated. I want my forces to be concentrated so that if they do engage, I've got fire superiority.
Receiving. Receiving.
Alright, our infantry's going to move up along this hedgerow line here on the right, and then on the left we're going to try and get into those woods on the flank of the main building. Alright, is that everybody? Okay, so... Where's the 5? We gotta keep that thing safe. It's over here.
Reporting.
I don't really see the point. Like, the redeployment's weird in this fight because it's kind of like... Well, you don't... All you can do is move where left to right where your boys are. That's it. But, okay. Begin battle. 29 turns. So this is a long fight. So there's no rush. We should have no problem having time. I mean, eventually time may become an issue, but at least initially, let's not get ourselves wiped out. So these guys are mortars. I don't want to move them. We're going to move this infantry section into this wood.
On the move. Yes, sir.
We're going to have the mortars pack up. Going to move the mortars in behind this hedgerow here. They'll probably stay there, provide covering fire as best they can, but at least they're somewhat in close contact with the infantry moving that way. We'll try to use cover of these trees as we move in front of these buildings. It does look like these objectives are all occupied by the Germans already.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Moving out.
I feel like using smoke effectively is going to be important in this fight. Of course, you got to find the enemy to use that smoke effectively. Otherwise, you're just sort of blindly throwing down a screen. I think the Sherman in this hedgerow area will be undercover, so we'll advance it here, just so I can get closer to supporting, but I don't think anyone can see him here. They might be able to hear movement.
Receiving.
We've got our mortar recon group. They'll move in behind the tanks for a little bit of cover.
Receiving.
We'll move our infantry up this way. Maybe more infantry would have been useful in this fight. I don't know. It just said, when it said that they were a well-equipped Panzer Lehr division, the well-equipped Panzer Lehr division kind of made me nervous that we were in, you know, we had to get our boys
Yes, sir.
as much armor as possible.
On our way.
Yeah, it does feel like an ambush sea town. Or feels like one could be coming. Can we move through? I don't want to be too grouped up here, though. Is this movable terrain, this tiny hedge, versus the big hedge? I don't know.
Receiving. On the move.
Don't run anybody over.
Yes, sir. On our way.
I don't want to move up the narrow road. I want to try and move right through these woods.
Yes, sir. Reporting.
At least for the infantry.
Moving out.
Ah! We just got run over!
Moving out. Reporting. Moving out.
Alright, we'll move those guys over here. Actually, those are the mortars. The other guys I was talking about moving earlier were machine guns.
Receiving. On the move.
Can I see...
Receiving.
You know what I really wish is I wish the line of sight was a lot more... clear? Okay. I wish when I clicked on a unit and used line of sight that it would tell me what they could see. So I'm guessing purple is obscured, but maybe when they're unbuttoned they can see, and then blue is just they can see. Which is interesting because we theoretically, I think I don't think we can see through all that. There's too many obstacles, right? Maybe not. Maybe they can see through this gap.
Receiving.
Yeah, their line of sight's much more restricted. Okay. Well, I think that's it for this turn. There's one unit with, like, barely any... Also good to see that our Tiger... Or, not our Tiger. Our Sherman 2 that was damaged last turn has, repaired. Beware of 88s. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of trying to move the infantry first. That long radius of potentially open line of sight for this tank here is a little concerning. But you can see the Germans, their turn's already up.
Receiving.
We're going to move through this wood line.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so they can move through that lower brush. Good. That suits my needs just fine.
On our way.
I think this line of hedges will give them cover here so we can just move through here quickly. I will say maybe 29 turns isn't quite as much time as I had thought because these guys don't move very far, very quickly. Suppose you could mount them up on tanks, but... No infrared night vision in World War II? Not that I'm aware of. I've never heard of it.
On our way. Reporting. Moving out.
Okay, we'll move the HQ here. I'm going to move this machine gun line up to this hedgerow. I'm wondering if we can deploy them in the hedgerow there to try and maybe they can see far enough forward. If we put guys here, what they can see nothing. Okay. So they got to get out of the hedges to see anything. What about here? So this might be a good place to put an MG in this like break in the field.
Yes, sir.
Or a sniper team.
On our way. Yes, sir. On the move.
We're gonna move our armor over to that left flank too, to that gap.
Receiving. On the move.
Get moving! Nice little dust cloud there coming up from the Mark II. Alright guys, this is a long, long battle. So I am actually going to go ahead and skip ahead 24 minutes in the Let's Play, because we spent a good deal of time working our way up on these houses in this first sort of objective area. It turned out they were actually unoccupied, which is fog of war that didn't tell us that. And so we end up occupying them. But yeah, it's a big gap. I will fast forward basically to first contact with the enemy as things kind of start to unfold. But it's a 3-hour long fight. By the way, I really love the way that the wheat in that wheat field looks with the wind. That's pretty neat for a game like this. That's more detailed than I would have expected from wind animations. But anyway. Oh, real quick, we dropped smoke into the little cluster of villages around the first objective, or buildings around the first objective, because we saw that our little eyeball icons disappeared, which meant we were spotted. We thought there might have been Germans in those buildings. Turns out there weren't. But I really don't know. Okay. Alright. It's just my usual ingrained caution is kind of... oh shit. Infantry on the left flank. Well, they suppressed our boys in the field. I got a target I can shoot at now, though. That's probably what saw us.
Yes, sir.
Took one casualty, huh? Can the mortars we have... they can't see anything over here, but can they shoot at these guys? Line of sight blocked, so no.
Yes, sir.
Well, I revealed my sniper's position.
Receiving. Receiving. On the move.
They must have really poor line of sight.
Receiving.
Now that I gave away my tank's position, huh?
Receiving.
Alright, you guys go into that building. Infantry group's gonna occupy this building. Some nice line of sight down the road. Still no sign of more enemy troops.
Receiving.
I don't know that these boys on the left flank are all that important, to be frank.
Receiving. On the move.
Let's get boys into that building.
Yes, sir. On our way.
Get our heavy MGs into this building, too. I'd like to get them into the building across the street, frankly, and set their MG up there. Yeah, I don't think there are floor choices, as far as I can tell. This is a very cleverly located enemy unit, too, because it can see a lot.
Yes, sir. On our way. Reporting. Reporting. Moving out.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I worry about having my MGs take a peek. Using all their movement points, basically, to take a peek.
On our way.
Okay. Still not spot... Well, there's not very good line of sight there. So actually, they're still in pretty good cover there.
Reporting.
I will push the tank through... It still hasn't been cover.
Moving out. Moving out. Reporting.
You're not much good to me if you can't fire, so pick up and move. Okay.
Receiving. On the move.
I'm assuming all these guys are getting spotted by the boys on the flank. That's sure what it looks like.
Receiving.
Really takes that many movement points just to turn the damn tank around?
Yes, sir.
I don't want to move the Firefly up the road. Okay, so they're going to move? They're going to sprint out of there, huh? They're like, we did our jobs. They know we're here. We're going to pull back. It's a pretty intense hour of not much happening yet.
Yes, sir. Receiving.
Fire! Got him!
Yes, sir. Receiving. On the move.
Well, you might have revealed my location. And that intel's probably worth it. But
Yes, sir.
we did manage to inflict more losses on them than they on us. Alright, get up in that second story now. Give me more intel. I don't really know what... Yeah, that's actually not a great position. Maybe further on in the house, though.
Yes, sir. On our way.
I kind of wish the houses went transparent, like in Combat Mission.
Yes, sir. Receiving. On the move.
We're going to move up to this second house here. Again, no sign of the enemy, so
Receiving.
push forward, I suppose. Alright, you stay behind the house. Oh! Sherman is spotted. Maybe just by these guys? Nope. It's something else. Hopefully behind this house it's safe.
Yes, sir.
We'll move our Firefly up there too. It's also going to be spotted. I don't think structured... Well, I don't know if structure destruction is modeled. I actually have no idea. Hopefully they can't see us. Maybe there's an AT gun up here. No visual on anything yet.
Yes, sir. On our way.
They're just so relaxed when they say on our way. They're just like, yes, sir.
Yes,
On
sir.
our way. Yes, sir. On our way. Roger that. Tally ho. Let's get going. Our morale went up because we inflicted those casualties? Interesting. Medium off-map mortar. Call in your fire. Hit these bastards. Behind them. Well, if there's anything in the this crossroads, maybe we hit it. I do love the off-map artillery. It's fun.
Yes, sir.
I just wish we had more of it and bigger guns.
On our way. Reporting.
No, my light recon vehicles were all destroyed in the last battle. So that doesn't help.
Yes, sir. On our way.
We got the 3 Stugs. We basically didn't lose anything, except for the light light guns.
On our way.
Where's a good spot for this MG to set up? What can they see from here? This might actually be a good spot. They can see parts of this wood line. They're still in cover. I do not always move them at full distance, no. My understanding is if you move where you still have at least 2 points left, then you move stealthily. If you move like max, then you get detected.
Moving out. Yes, sir.
But I also... It feels like I'm trying to catch up on some time lost. Alright, this may not be smart. But let's put this infantry in the middle of the road. Just act as bait for these tanks back here. Tell me what's out there. Oh crap, did I totally forget about these guys back here? Oh, these are our late units, I believe. Late arrivals? Just showed up? Did it even tell me they showed up? Oh, and this guy's already detected. He's detected the second he shows up on the map. That's great.
Yes,
Maybe
sir.
he should stay there.
On our way. Yes, sir. On the move.
That's why morale's 15. Okay. Because the additional reinforcements showed up. Got it. It wasn't that late of an arrival.
Moving out.
I suppose it kind of is in the fact that units don't really move very far. I can actually definitely see the utility of purchasing half-tracks next time.
On the move.
Because boy, does infantry take a while to move.
Receiving. On the move.
Yeah, there's definitely something down here on the crossroads, I believe. Because these troops in this road are also
Yes, sir.
detected.
On our way.
I'm going to guess there's an AT gun up there somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Let's also try and maybe give this guy some cover.
On our way.
Into the field. All right. I feel like this is the turn where all hell may start to break loose. Well, there's some enemy. Is that a machine gun? Ooh, 60% suppression. That's rough. Did we lose sight of him already, though? Oh no, they're over here. Veteran LMG. Okay, so not a heavy machine gun, a light machine gun.
Receiving.
You took 3 casualties there? Okay, get back in that building.
Receiving. Receiving.
I don't understand why rotating costs so many movement points. That seems kind of crazy.
Yes, sir. On the move. Receiving.
There definitely could be more out there that we can't see.
Move. Yes, sir. On our way.
Is it a good game? I'm still feeling it out, Fellington.
Moving out.
Maybe. I've been enjoying my time with it so far. I don't think the mortar can hit from there, so they gotta move through that hedgerow.
Reporting. Moving out. Yes, sir. On our way.
Okay.
Yes, sir. On our way.
So we don't know what's spotting us over on the right flank. I don't have the warm and fuzzies about this Sherman's future.
On the move.
There's probably some gun in this wood line that's got a bead on it, would be my assumption.
Reporting.
Could just be infantry, I suppose. That would be the optimistic version. The game did say we'd be taking on the Panzer Lehr, though, so that feels likely that we're going to run into some heavy armor at some point.
Receiving.
Hey, they didn't move. Hit him again. Got another one.
Receiving.
Hit him again. Got another one.
Yes, sir. On our way. On our way. Yes, sir. On the move.
Okay.
Yes, sir. On our way.
Alright, I'm hoping this long range is going to prevent the MG shooting down the road at us.
Receiving.
But I'm gonna take the road route.
Reporting.
It's turn-based. I don't think it's very similar to XCOM.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Receiving.
Can anything see me from here? Alright.
On the move. Yes, sir.
Alright, so these guys cannot see the enemy, but they can see a good ways up the road, so they're going to stay in position there.
On the move.
Move you out in the open. Probably not the smartest thing.
Yes, sir. On our way.
It's interesting that even when you're spotted, like, the enemy doesn't reveal themselves until they shoot, pretty much, if they're in cover. Which is maybe not always realistic, but fairly realistic, I think. Okay.
Yes, sir. On our way.
Oops. Alright. Whoa, the LMGs decided... Okay. I don't know that that's the smartest decision, AI. Did it move 2 squads into the road there?
Receiving. Receiving. On the move.
Alright, these guys are still here.
Receiving.
Minimal chance of hurting them, though.
Yes, sir. On our way.
Well, we can keep hitting them with arty, but the alternative is there's 2 enemy squads in the road here. Although I don't think I can hit them. Yeah, just keep shelling over there. 20% suppression. 10% suppression, but no fatalities.
Receiving. On the move.
Probably silly that I've committed a whole tank effectively and artillery spotter to
Yes, sir.
that.
Receiving. Yes, sir. On the move.
Really gotta hope there's no AT gun on the crossroads. Just waiting for this. Come on, Firefly.
Receiving. On the move.
Nice.
Receiving. 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 Yes, sir.
Can they see them from here? Oh, I never set them up. Damn it. That was stupid of me. That just cost me.
Yes, sir. On the move. Receiving. Receiving. On the move.
Okay. Oh, I thought you could see from there.
Receiving. On the move.
Oh, that's all their movement points? Damn it.
Receiving.
Because there's this unit back here that's moving that I don't... Ah! Rookie mistakes.
Yes, sir.
They can hit him, though.
Yes, sir.
Nice. So they can't move. They're suppressed.
Yes, sir.
Help, help, I'm being suppressed. Let's get these boys through the hedge and then behind this house. If there's anybody over here, they might get shot, but...
Receiving. On the move.
Man, I thought I clicked the wrong hex to move them to. And wasted their movement points.
Yes, sir.
Oh well.
On our way.
Alright, so I think we'll get that one squad that's suppressed next turn at the very least.
Yes, sir.
You know what'd be nice is if there's like a... I guess they show the little green options down there that show their movement points. But it'd be nice if there was like a different color for units that still could move, or that hadn't moved, or whatever, on the lower left. That'd be an interesting UI decision.
Moving out. Yes, sir. On the move. Reporting.
Hello. I see you. Eliminated! Let's hope there's nothing in this tree line that's like, oh, there's a tank there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
On our way. Yes, sir.
No, this tank on the
On our way.
flank, which was spotted by the enemy, is now back in cover. So I'm just
Yes, sir.
move them at top speed. I think that little arrow icon indicates that they're basically vulnerable or more visible because they're moving like incredibly quickly.
Reporting. Moving out.
Oh shoot, I just got my mortar team spotted. That's never good. Not sure by who.
Reporting. Moving out.
HQ team also, but we're all grouping up here. Hopefully there's no enemy artillery about to pound us.
Moving out.
That would be a very tempting artillery target.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On our way.
These guys are wide open in the open. These bad guys are somewhat suppressed, so I'm hoping they won't hurt us too bad, but...
Receiving. On the move.
May God have mercy on our souls if there's a tiger in that,
On the move.
on that crossroads, or even an anti-tank gun. We got two tanks stacked back to back. We got the Firefly in the rear, hoping that it gives us more cover, but... Alright, these guys are going to move, so they're probably out of our line of sight. Oh, shit. They moved and fired. Bastards. More enemy troops spotted. What are those? A lot of enemy infantry showing up here. An MG nest hitting our boys that moved in behind this house. Flammenwerfer? Well, we may have to deal with that. These boys are just still sitting here. What's the little arrow mean? Oh, they're prone. Okay.
Receiving.
Can we just finish these guys off? Eliminated. Nice. Got another German unit down.
On our way. Receiving.
I think it's kind of silly for them to fire and then be considered out of the fight. Alright, let's... Oh, we can't hit them. But we can hit these guys. Well, that was a pretty close first shot there. Neither one of them did any damage, but...
Reporting. Yes, sir. On the move. On the move. Yes, sir.
Get him! And they're eliminated. So much for the Flammenwerfer.
Yes, sir. On our way.
It makes sense that in the town they'd be infantry heavy and their panzers would just be waiting for the moment that our tanks make the mistake. It does make sense that we haven't seen them yet. I'm just wondering when that moment will be, because so far we've taken casualties. Like, these boys here have been roughed up a bit.
Receiving.
This squad, this SMG unit. In fact, we're going to pull them back. I don't know that they're even combat effective anymore. They've lost 50%. But we know there's an enemy MG nest up here.
Receiving.
The question is, what's the best way to move on it?
Receiving.
Move these boys into this house. I think keeping the MG here makes sense. They'll cover the road. Oh, they can hit these guys. Not effectively, but... Wow, 40% suppression. That was better than I thought. Maybe good enough to take some risks.
On our way.
It's the second mission, fell. Second of 7.
Receiving. On the move.
I think I've forgotten about Price's boys down here
On the move.
a couple of times. Real nervous about moving my panzers up, or my panzers, my Shermans up here.
Receiving.
If there's anything on that crossroads, we're in trouble.
Receiving.
But I have advanced my infantry up a little bit, so probably move them a couple of hexes down the road. Right?
Yes, sir. On the move.
I can't hit the buildings with the Germans in them, but yes, in theory I could.
Receiving.
I mean, we could move in here. Could we see them from there? We could.
Receiving.
All right. I'm hoping what could see us potentially.
Receiving.
Oh, oops. What could see us potentially here? Okay, so there's other spots on the map, especially to the left. That would be a concern, especially if there's anything by this objective on the left flank. Let's hold off on that for now.
Receiving.
Yeah. Is why it'd be nice if we had more smoke. I'd like to white phosphorus the bastards, but I can't. I have nothing to shoot at. Just aim your turret.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't... Can we move... I don't know if this will cover anybody's movement, but let's toss some smoke in there.
On the move.
Maybe it'll hinder their shooting at me.
Receiving. On the move.
I'm gonna get it. It kind of makes sense that we'd get rocked if we just move into open terrain willy-nilly.
Yes, sir.
There's probably more bad guys up in this wood line,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Right, you'll still be in cover if we move here? Let's do that. We got to try and get to 5 objectives. We've taken 1. There are more to take.
Yes, sir.
Alright, this objective is actually unoccupied. Okay.
Yes, sir. On our way.
Up there. In theory, you'll be undercover.
Reporting. Moving out.
Alright, moving up the right flank toward this other objective.
Reporting. Reporting.
Everybody's moved, right?
Yes, sir.
Not everybody's used all their points,
Receiving. Receiving.
but everybody's moved.
Yes, sir.
At least as much as I want them to. Ooh, nice. We took the orchard on the right. Alright, so they shot at our sniper through the smoke. That's interesting. Also, apparently this other objective in the middle of the town is not occupied. Enemies moving behind this building here. Oh, armor? It's a recon vehicle at the least. Oh! Alright, this battle's just starting to unfold, but we've been going for almost an hour now, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up here. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I know it's a bit of a slow start. I do apologize for that, but the intent is to show the game in its full glory, if you will. So we did do some editing. We did cut out about 20 minutes of downtime, but the fight is definitely underway now. We've noticed a number of enemy units, and that's where we are now. So let me know your thoughts below, and until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.